Welcome, everyone. If you're here, you probably love getting straight to the heart of a complex idea. Well, today we have an absolutely fascinating explainer lined up for you. We're going to explore a timeless story, a classic folktale that fundamentally challenges how we perceive value, aesthetics, and, well, worth in our world. We'll be breaking down a famous narrative from the ancient Indian royal court of King Krishnadevaraya, featuring his famously witty advisor, Tenali Rama. By the time we reach the end of this, you might just find yourself completely redefining what it means for something, or even someone, to be truly beautiful. Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to take just a second right now and mentally picture your absolute favorite, most aesthetically pleasing flower. Got it? What comes to mind? Is it, a classic deep red rose with velvet petals, maybe an intricate exotic orchid you'd find deep in a tropical rainforest, or perhaps a vibrant field of sunflowers reaching toward the sky? See, we naturally associate the beauty of a flower with its color, its shape, its fragrance, its visual perfection. Hold on to that image in your mind, because our story begins with exactly this kind of visual pursuit. Section 1. The King's Challenge. A royal decree. Imagine the sheer grandeur of a vibrant, wealthy, ancient Indian court. King Krishnadevaraya, a ruler known for his deep love of art and intellect, makes a sudden royal decree. He announces to his entire assembly of courtiers that a special, highly prestigious reward will be given to whoever can bring him the absolute most beautiful flower by the very next day. Just think about the immediate buzz in that room. If you were standing in that court, what kind of rare, magnificent bloom would you rush out to find to impress the king and win that royal prize? Well, the reaction was immediate and honestly a bit frantic. Step 1, the challenge is issued. Step 2, the eager courtiers absolutely scatter, searching far and wide. They're sending messengers to distant lands, scouring the kingdom's borders, raiding their own meticulously kept gardens. Then we hit step 3. The very next morning, the court is completely transformed. The room is filled with this dazzling array of rare, exotic, and deeply colorful blooms. The air is thick with sweet fragrances, and the visual display is literally breathtaking. Everyone brought their absolute best. Everyone, that is, except for one person. Section 2. Tenali Rama's Empty Hands. A surprising turn. And this brilliantly illustrates the contrast at the heart of our explainer. On one hand, you have the courtiers, burdened with these vibrant, imported, super expensive exotic flowers, basically tripping over themselves to show off their visual splendor. But on the other hand, we have Tenali Rama, famously the cleverest man in the kingdom, strolling into the royal court completely, undeniably empty-handed. No pot, no vase, not even a single dropped petal. In a room literally overflowing with color, his lack of effort seems totally out of place. It's almost insulting to the king's challenge. You can practically feel the tension in the room. The king, seeing his most trusted and usually brilliant advisors show up with absolutely nothing, is genuinely shocked. He demands, "Tenali Rama, have you not brought any flower?" The murmurs in the court must have been deafening right then. Did the great Tenali Rama forget? Did he just give up? It's a moment of absolute peak suspense. Section 3, Meaning of Beauty, a new perspective. So let's look at the actual source text to understand his reasoning. Tenali Rama just smiled at the king's shock. He explained that all morning he had been deep in thought, really pondering what truly makes a flower the most beautiful. And then, on his journey to the palace, his observant eyes caught something seemingly ordinary. He saw local farmers out in the fields, working the earth, cultivating a vast crop of cotton. When the king, totally confused, asks what a farmer's field has to do with a royal flower competition, Tenali Rama delivers this incredibly profound answer. He says, "Maharaj, the cotton flower is the only flower that provides clothing for the entire kingdom." I mean, just think about the weight of that statement. In a room filled with roses and orchids that are just going to wilt in a few days and leave nothing behind, Tenali points to a humble, unassuming, fuzzy white tuft of a flower. So the crucial point is how Tenali Rama logically breaks down the actual value of this plant. The cotton flower isn't prized for some sweet scent. Its value comes entirely from its utility. Number 1, it provides the very fabric that clothes the kingdom. Number 2, it's the ultimate equalizer. It covers both the poorest farmer out in the field and the richest noble in the court with equal grace. And number 3, it actively serves the entire society rather than just acting as a temporary decoration for a select few. Tenali Rama then crystallizes his argument to the king with this striking comparison. He concedes that a flower that is only beautiful to look at is certainly a good flower. It definitely has merit. But, he argues, the most beautiful flower, the one actually deserving of the highest honor and the royal prize, must be one that is fundamentally useful to the whole of society. With this, he effectively shifts the entire paradigm of the court. He forces them to look past mere visual aesthetics and dive into the realm of lasting impact. Section 4, True Lesson of Life, the Final Verdict. According to the story, after Tenali Rama finished speaking, a really heavy silence fell over the court. The king sat silently, taking a moment to genuinely process the immense wisdom he had just heard. Suddenly, the visual splendor of the room felt kind of shallow compared to the humble cotton flower. Then, the king smiled, the tension broke, and he declared, "Tenali Rama, today you have changed the very meaning of beauty." The king immediately declared him the winner, and the entire court just erupted into a roaring round of applause. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we can take that royal realization and codify it into a universal definition. What Tenali Rama taught the court that day is that true beauty is defined not by your outward appearance, your bright colors, or your rarity, but by your utility and the tangible contribution you make to the lives of others. It's an incredibly empowering definition, right? Because while physical beauty fades and is largely out of our control, our usefulness and our ability to contribute are choices we can make every single day. This builds perfectly to our final, most important takeaway from this explainer. The moral derived directly from the source text is clear and sharp. True value lies in utility and contribution, not just outward appearance. It's really easy to be distracted by the exotic, colorful flowers in our lives, the flashy cars, the glamorous social media posts, the totally superficial traits. But this folktale urges us to look for the cotton flowers. Look for the substance, the quiet utility, and the foundational support that actually holds society together. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a direct challenge. Moving forward, how will you evaluate the beauty and value of the things and people in your own life? When you go to work tomorrow, when you look at your relationships, or even when you just look in the mirror, are you looking for the colorful petals, or are you looking for the cotton? Are you seeking outward praise, or are you striving to be of real use to those around you? Think about that today. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep learning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.